Right, so basically there are three weapons that I've discovered in Shootmania. There's a rocket launcher, a railgun, and what I'm going to call a sticky launcher. So the rocket launcher pretty much plays just like the nade launcher from Team Fortress 2. It looks like there's a little drop to it, but not enough for you to actually have to compensate for it. And from what people said in game, there is like a small amount of splash damage, but not enough for you to actually aim for the feet. You're pretty much gonna have to aim entirely for directs. And from the servers I've been playing in, it's killed in about 2 hits. I'm pretty sure that the health is gonna be customizable from the stuff that you're able to do in Trackmania, but don't quote me on it. The railgun plays the same way it does in Quake. It kills in 1 hit, and I'm not entirely sure if it has unlimited range, but it seems far enough anyway. I haven't really used a sticky launcher much, but from what I've seen, it has a really slow projectile. It sticks to the land, and I'm not sure if it sticks to players, but after it sticks, it blows up after 3 or so seconds. It's pretty slow. And on this map, you can only use it in this tunnel here. And I haven't seen it used as a primary weapon for a map or any game mode either. Shootmania only has about 4 game modes, one of which is the classic deathmatch, where with a rocket launcher the score limit goes up to 50 points, and with every hit you get 1 point, so you either get 25 kills or 50 hits total. And there's also Instagib deathmatch with the railgun, where the score limit is 25 points and each hit or kill is 1 point. Now the Royal game mode in Shootmania is pretty interesting. So the point of the whole mode is to survive and be the last player standing at the end of the round. In the beginning, everybody spawns at the edge of the map, and depending on the number of people that are in the server, then everybody will be spawning pretty close to each other, since each spawn point is only a few feet away from each other. And during the round, you get points for every few seconds you're staying alive and for hitting other players. Now, also in the beginning of the round, there's a cap point or pole in the middle of the map, and only one player has to get there and activate what's called the off zone. Now the off zone is a large white dome that appears at the edge of the map, actually farther than that. And what it starts doing is starts shrinking down all the way into the map until there's only a small area in the middle of the map. Now if you get caught outside the off zone while shrinking, then you die. And after the off zone continues to shrink and shrinks all the way down to the middle of the map in a small area, then there'll usually only be about 2 or maybe 3 people alive. And they'll duke it out in that small area, and the last person that stays alive wins, and he gets 10 points just for winning the round. Now the only downside that I see from this game mode is that some people like to hide for most of the round, and they'll get points for hiding and surviving, and they'll just wait for the off zone to come. And since the off zone doesn't actually move too fast, you can still outrun it if you're just running in a straight line. So then they'll run to the center of the map where there'll only be about 4 or 5 people left, and they have a solid chance of winning, and they'll get like 24 points just for doing that if they win and kill the last guy. So overall, the game mode is pretty fun, and it should probably be one of the first ones that you should try out, and it actually gets pretty competitive too. Another good game mode is called Battle or Battle Waves. So in the beginning of each round, both teams starts and spawns, and both teams will be racing to the other team's poles or cap points. And the first team to touch the other team's pole, wow, that sounded gay. Yeah. The first team to touch the other team's cap point begins to attack. Now what happens is they get an attacking timer, and the timer only lasts 15 seconds, and each time someone else touches the other team's cap point, the timer resets back to 15 seconds. They keep attacking and they keep capturing their poles until the timer reaches 0, and if the timer reaches 0, then that team starts to defend and the other team starts to attack. Now the rounds last only about 5 or 6 minutes, and the only way that one team can win is if they capture all the other team's poles, or at the end of the round when the time limit runs out, the team with the highest capture percentage wins. Now there are more game modes, or to be more accurate, more versions of the game. Like what I was just showing is Shootmania Storm, and there looks to be 2 other versions called Joust and Elite, and Joust looks more like a 1v1 based game, and Elite is the 3v3 game that we saw in the LAN tournaments and the E3 tournament. I took a quick look at Joust, and to be honest, I have no idea what's going on, and in the Elite game mode, it's pretty hard to get a spot since there's only 6 slots available for each game. Now, in general gameplay, the movement is about as fast as a Pyro or Demo or just Quake movement in general when you're normally walking. Changing directions when you're strafing is kind of quick, not necessarily as fast as changing directions as a Scout, but somewhere in between there and like a Demo. The feel of aiming was weird the first time that I played, but the second time and until now it's been fine. I think it might have been just because maybe the movement was weird to me, but that was all. Jumping gives you a decent amount of height. You'll be able to get to some places on the map using that. If you jump again while you're in the air, then you'll activate a jetpack, which actually doesn't work like you'd think it would. The boost on it is pretty weak, and it'll only be useful when you're descending or falling, where there it'll give you a decent speed boost and will make you go faster, a bit faster than you normally would. Now, most if not all maps come with certain map features that change up the gameplay pretty interestingly. Now, one of these features is what I'm going to call a heal pad, and basically when you're standing on them, you'll regenerate health after a few seconds, but also while you're standing on them, you won't be able to shoot. So if somebody finds you on the heal pad, then you might become an easy target while you're trying to regenerate health. And another pad, which I'm going to call a rail pad, is when you're standing on them, they'll switch you to a rail gun in a game mode or map where you would normally be limited to just a rocket launcher, and that'll give you a one-up on the other players on the map. And this makes the rail pad serve as a sort of PowerPoint on the map, but you'll also become an easy target as people who are still carrying the regular rocket launcher will easily be able to spam you while you're standing on that small area. Also, there's these speed walkways on certain maps where if you use your jetpack on them, they'll actually become really useful and give you a large speed boost while you're running across them. Now, for the record, absolutely none of my gameplay was recorded at anything that resembles anything close to like high or maxed out graphics in this game. If you tried playing with high graphics, then it's actually kind of hard to maintain a decent frame rate with them, but if you lower your graphics, it'll be pretty easy to maintain a high 140 frames per second. I'm pretty sure around that 143 is the frame rate cap. But here you can see a bunch of settings that you can do, like sensitivity, super accurate. You can do vertical sensitivity if your mouse doesn't have drivers that feature that and everything. And there's other there's other settings that you can use that changes your crosshair color and the transparency and everything. The game has no view models. There's no way to turn on any, so you don't see like that stupid hand or whatever weapon they're using to shoot those rails or rocket launchers or whatever. So that's pretty much it for Shootmania. You should really get this game. It's really fun, just for pubbing and killing time. Like, even if the competitive scene doesn't grow and there like is no North American competitive scene, you should still check it out.